Yo, yo. I'm gonna give everybody a second to get up in here. Get this damn thing in here. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all a second to get in here. Lauren is on the way. Lauren is on the way. Peace, peace. I'm Vic Mensa. I'm here. I'm here speaking, you know what I'm saying, in collaboration with the Mental Health Coalition. Uh, it's a beautiful initiative that my good friend Kenneth Cole has put together. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, actually. And so every day in May, there's going to be artists, um, actors, creative people speaking and being real about mental health on this page, on the Mental Health Coalition. It's called 121. Everyone needs to talk to someone. Let me see if I can bring Lauren up here. What's up? How you doing?
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Chilling today.
Where you at?
Today's a good day.
I swear it is. You in LA?
I'm in LA. Yeah, I just got here last night.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm in
You
Chicago right now.
here in Chicago?
I was just listening to Temporary right before I started this up. So dope.
Really?
Yeah,
Thanks.
so
Thanks.
dope. I think that'd be a place where, that it made me think about some things, just like the when you said feelings are temporary, you know, and I feel like um, depression, they intertwine, and it's so easy to feel in the moment like you're gonna be in this stuck place forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that,
Mm-hmm.
and the moment that you do realize though that those things are temporary, it helps you to regain so much power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely on the regaining of power. It's the most important part.
Yeah, man. I was talking to Kenneth Cole right before I did this, and he was like, "Yeah, the more vulnerable you are, the better it'll be." And so I was thinking, because I'm a person that, just my mental health has always been full of highs and lows, and
The flow of life, man.
I swear to God it is. And
Ebbs
I've
and
been,
flows like the ocean.
going through it since I was a kid, since I was, I think, 15 is when I first realized something was going on, and I went to, see like some psychiatrists, and they're like, you have generalized anxiety, and start taking medication and stop taking medication and start again, and I wanted to ask you, um, what are some of the things that help you to cope with your anxiety?
Well, it's funny you asked that. So it depends on the day. Sometimes I choose unhealthy coping mechanisms, and other days I choose healthy coping mechanisms. I'm gonna be straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Yeah.
I could sit here and say my only coping mechanism is to breathe, but that's
It's
not true.
breathing exercises.
You know what I mean? No, but for real, actually, breathing has been helping me a lot lately. Whenever I start getting that like tightening feeling in my chest or like the knot in my stomach, because that's kind of what it feels like to me, is like there's like a weight on my chest and like I can't like take a full breath. So I just kind of encourage myself to do that even more. So I'll sit there now and like it's this new technique that I came across. It's like it's not new, but like it's new to me. It's like you just take a deep breath for 8 counts and then you hold it for 4 counts and then you let it go 8 counts. And like that counting and that
Yeah, I like
intentional
that.
breathing really genuinely calms me down. I try to do like 10 breaths. But then I notice like as I'm trying to do the 10, like I'll kind of automatically relax and my mind will go somewhere else all of a sudden. And then I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't even get to 10 breaths and I feel so much better. Like it's actually been helping me a lot lately. So.
You know, that's dope. There's this breathing exercise that a friend of mine taught me where you breathe fast breaths into your abdomen and it's like 30, you know what I mean? Really quick
Like Wim Hof?
breaths. Yeah, it's like 30 really quick breaths, and then on the 30th breath, you hold it for as long as you can. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it helps to, for me, it kind of like, it'll help in the middle of a meditation or if I'm feeling overwhelmed just to still things for a second, kind of like that skydiving moment when you hit the parachute. Um,
Mm, 100%.
it's all about your
It's like a
breath, though.
gradual
Hmm.
glide down.
It's all about your breath, though. I'm the
Yeah,
same
I
way, you
actually
know.
mentioned that in temporary in the second verse in Spanish. Like that's what I'm talking
I
about. Like
was gonna ask you what you were saying because I was like, I feel like
I like
she's
to say
probably in
something.
the she's saying some words.
Okay, so I I'm saying tuve que abrir mis ojos los tres, right? So I had to open my eyes, all three of them, because this one
Okay,
I had to open this one.
yeah, that was important.
You know what I mean? Inhalar profundamente, contar hasta 10, exhalar, right? So inhale real deep, count to 10,
Oh, I love
exhale.
that. Yo, that's dope.
And then there's the sound of the breath. And then it says, para quitar este peso del estrés, which means like to take off this weight of the weight that I have of the stress. Like I just said, I feel like that weight on my chest.
Mm.
Para quitar ese peso del estrés. And then, y cuando entran las dudas que me hacen mal, y me hacen olvidar, right? And so when the doubt comes in, when those doubts come in, um, dudas que me hacen mal. So me hacen mal means they're bad for me, and they make me forget that my power is mine. I smile because I remember that it's all temporary. And
Ah, that's beautiful.
yeah,
You know, it's so those words are
it's about coming back.
so relevant to me today and just over the last few days. You know what I'm saying? I find that oftentimes my anxiety and depression they manifest themselves most potently in the morning. You know, that's why
Mm,
I try to stack things in the morning. Like I'm boxing one day or I'm lifting another day because if I'm left to my own devices, I know that the morning it can
yeah.
be tough for me. You know,
So
and the other
exercise helps you then, like to release endorphins and to like
it
channel
does
your anxiety. It helps me too. That I've been working out more
100%.
regularly lately, and that's helped me a lot actually. Like, because when I'm
Oh,
feeling out of
for
it,
real.
having the motivation to at least show up for myself in that way, whatever amount of time I do, even if it's 20 minutes and not necessarily like a full hour, like just showing up for myself like that and sweating it out and like letting those endorphins naturally come out of me, like that helps me a lot.
I feel like it's all about showing up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, that's self
like
care shit.
the day that I was thinking about, like 2 days ago, and I was glued. I was glued to the bed. I'm thinking about probably every mistake I ever made. I'm like,
Hello, it's me, the overthinker.
and so I was like, okay, yeah, now I'm depressed. I felt
Yeah.
like I was cool the day before, and then that day I was like, okay, I'm depressed today. I feel a lot of anxiety. I feel depression today. I deal with these things, and I just had a thought, um, that also it is it's good to be honest about those things. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
'Cause I've been in the past and still, in the present, I've been predisposed to how are you? Everything's good,
I'm
to
good. I'm
be
so
like, oh
good.
yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I'm good.
How are
Everything,
you?
I'm blessed, right? Because I am,
Yeah, no,
but
we are. Let's not get it
you're
twisted. We are.
blessed in all moments. You know what I'm saying? But um, yeah, I find that the being vulnerable and being honest and telling people, what's what's going on with you. Not that you want to tell the whole world, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, but being able to like to not hide, you know, can be can be so powerful, and I think that helps to contextualize emotions and feelings and thoughts as being temporary. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Even like holding space for like when you do feel anxiety and depression, like even diving a little further, right? So like I feel depressed and I feel anxious, right? So then what are like, because there's such a wide range of feelings and emotions, like the whole list of things that we could be feeling, um I don't know, like there's like something lacking in there, you know what I'm saying? Usually when the depression comes or when the anxiety comes, at least for me, it's because I'm holding back from doing something that I need to do for myself. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
like holding off on having the important conversations that I need to be having that are like dwelling in the back of my mind. Or like I'm not really being 100% honest with myself about how I feel about something or a circumstance or a person or a relationship that I'm involved with, even if that
Hmm.
relationship is with myself. So, like sitting there with the feeling of depression, yes, but also kind of interrogating it a little bit, like asking it a question, like asking a harder question, being like, okay, yes, you're depressed, but like, why are we depressed? Like, what are the
Right.
things that have triggered us? What are the things, what are the feelings that are coming up? Like, is it unworthiness? Is it, insecurity? Is it that I don't feel safe right now? Is it that someone has brought up an insecurity of mine that actually really hurts and I'm trying to like play it off and that bearing of it is causing me to feel anxious? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I recently had like this crazy thing, random thing happen to me that just like really triggered me. And I tried to avoid the fact that it had triggered me for a while. And then I like it was building up inside of me, not having addressed that, like that made me feel it made me revert back to like a hurt inner child of like feeling unworthy, you know what I mean, and not
Hmm.
deserving of what I do for a living, right? Like, or not deserving of like the way that I to feel good about myself and like confident in my art, you know what I'm saying? Which is like one of my biggest insecurities is like when someone has something to say about my art and like it's not positive, I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Like I'm
That's the
so
insecurity of being an artist, though, because I'm to
I'm
the
so
point where
sensitive,
like
man. I'm so
I'm so
sensitive.
sensitive. I don't read nothing. I don't read no comments, no reviews. Like, you know, I
Yeah,
went
fuck all
through
of it. I don't
a
watch shit back. If I
people
do it,
sent
I
no, I
send
don't
it to the
watch
world.
nothing back. You know, people
I
send
don't
me
want to know.
reviews. They sent me a review the other day, like, you know, my rep from my label, shout out to Nadine, great woman, sent me a review. I'm like, okay, it's probably a good review. You know, she sent it to me. It's good. And then in there it says something about, you know, and then I don't know why he put this cliche song in there, and I was like, I quit.
I quit. I can't believe someone thinks I'm cliche. I can't.
I was like, I quit, man. I can't. And you know, but honestly though, that stuff is very triggering for me though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I find that like internet, social media, that there's so much triggering
So
there.
many opinions. It's like motherfuckers have
So
so
many.
many opinions. And I'm like,
Wow, too
do you
many.
need to be talking right now? Did you have to say that to me? Like, I'm okay.
Too many motherfucking opinions. That's why I like, you know, it's
That's a
good
song
to be
right
able
there.
to. I swear to God, I got a tattoo of it. God damn it.
Oh,
Tired of it.
cancel them.
Let them go, you know? Social media detox sometimes is necessary, you know? And that's a thin line as an artist too,
Have
because
you done those? Have you ever done like a successful social media detox?
I did it for 2 days.
Yeah, I did it for 2 months one time, man. I actually
Really?
3 months. I did no Twitter and no Instagram. I would just have my assistant
Actually,
post for me if I felt like posting something.
I did do that. I was off Instagram for like 6 months, but I was low key still on that. Still
Right?
on that. I was
Yeah,
there.
no,
But
mine
I
was
was like,
off. I deleted mine
yeah,
off my phone and I
yeah.
literally wasn't on it. And I that shit that was some of the honestly some of the best 3 months of my life. I had so many adventures with myself and like
You know, that sounds
I
so
forgot
fire.
about the fact that everybody's in everybody's business all the time. It was
Yo, that
nice.
sounds so fire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring Dr. Luana on here for a couple minutes.
Yes.
Um, let
Is she
me,
joining us like three-way type vibe?
yeah.
Excuse you.
Yeah,
Like a three-way phone
yeah,
call.
three.
It
Yeah.
was so beautiful. Hello.
Hi, you guys are amazing. I was feeling the vulnerability and the ability to connect together. Everybody needs somebody, and this is so powerful. I was just so amazed of what you guys are talking about.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to join us.
We're some self-aware little babies.
No,
We're
I
trying to.
loved it. You're both talking about something that I think would be really helpful for all of us to think about a little bit. You both talked about being triggered, right? When something
Mm.
hits, either you're like something in the news or somebody is talking about your music, and then what happens is our brain goes on fight or flight, right? The fear part of our brain turns on, and then
And that's
something happens to all of us. We start spinning, right? And we're like, what are they saying? And then you start to feel anxious. And then Lauren, you talk about sort of like wanting to avoid it, right? I just don't want to deal with
I
that.
run away from that shit so hard, dude. I literally.
Yeah. And you
She's
feel,
a runner. She's a track star. Like energy.
and it feels good momentarily. The problem is that you're stuck, right?
Yeah.
It's spinning.
Yeah, for a moment, and then I'm like, damn, I'm spiraling and like really not acknowledging this.
That's
And
it.
then it's
What's the
over.
science like on the triggers, Dr. Luana? Like, what's happening in our brain when we're
Mhm.
being triggered?
Vic, that's a great question. So let's start by calling, instead of mental health, brain health, right? What happens to the brain? So when we trigger the old brain, the limbic system, supposed to make us fight, flight, or free, turns on immediately. Any kind of danger. When that happens, our thinking brain shuts off. Your stomach gets upset. You get tense. You start to sweat. You're ready to fight. That's what's happening. And in that point, we can't actually think, right? We only feel. And it's really important to cool off the brain in that moment because we are working out of fear instead of the ability to face it and fight it.
And so you said it's the limbic system that's being activated.
That's
And
exactly right.
and so we want to get back to the parasympathetic nervous system, right?
Correct?
And so how is that done?
So a couple
Let's do
tricks
it.
here. That's a good question. So a couple tricks. In it, we think often about when I'm spinning, think about thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Okay. What am I saying to myself? How do I feel? What do I want to do? And as much as you can, you want to slow down your brain. So if you feel like you're spinning too much, I think Lauren talked about this, taking a breath and doing mindfulness, anchoring the present moment, unplugging for as many things as possible to allow your brain to understand that perhaps in that moment it's a false alarm, that nothing really bad is going to happen, to try to turn on your thinking brain again. It might take a little bit, right? But the
Yeah.
important thing is not to react in that moment.
Yeah. Self-soothing also helps, like talking to myself. I know that might sound crazy, but like when I talk out loud to myself and I'm like, Lauren, it's okay. Like this is not something that you need to be worried about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of like talk to myself like I'm talking to my inner child, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like just kind of like relaxing her and reminding her that she's like safe, you know? Like that I'm gonna protect her. I'm not gonna like violate her, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Lauren, because when you're talking to yourself, you're working through your thinking brain. And you're self-soothing and you're trying to say, listen, let's look at what's going on here. What's the evidence here, right? I'm okay right now.
Exactly. It's a presenting of evidence. That's why journaling helps me too, because it's the same kind of vibe. Is like you're like writing down the evidence of what you're feeling, and
Mm-hmm.
like transmuting that through a pen. For me anyway, like that's why I love fucking music, man. Because
Your
it.
journal is fire.
Thank
So
you.
fire.
Yeah, Vic's seen my journal.
So dope.
No, but
But yeah,
Lauren, you're right on. There's actually science behind what you're talking about. Writing turns on your thinking brain, calms down the limbic system.
Mm.
right, because like in
Wow,
order for you to
really?
write,
Yeah.
you have to literally activate that side of the brain, right?
Yeah, and both parts of the brain can be on at the same strength. So when you start to write, it's your thinking brain, it's your prefrontal cortex. And so then it calms you down. So you're doing science without
Hacks.
even knowing. Look at that.
Look at me, I'm a scientist.
Maybe Dr. Luana, could you, imparting, just like give us a few more tools that can be used to calm the limbic system, and maybe um, let us know about, and let the people that are tuned in know about some of the resources that exist for people that deal with anxiety, depression, and other mental health afflictions?
Absolutely. So the first one is this. Thoughts are not facts. When we're saying things to ourselves, they're negative and we're
Word.
spinning, thoughts are
That's
Swear
not
to God.
facts.
You
that
preaching.
should be like a golden rule nugget.
It
Yeah, you
really is
preaching.
important, right? Second, emotions are valid, but they're not always accurate. So when you're spinning, your emotions are usually not totally accurate. Three, count on your friends. You guys are doing it beautifully here. We know that social support is the best buffer against mental illness. So whenever it's spinning, go for somebody that's your safe haven. That really helps. And if you need more resources, we have a free course, Mental Health for All, that you can find on my website, drluana.com.
Amazing.
Thank you,
Thank you
doctor.
so much, Doctor.
It's a pleasure. It's great to be here with you guys.
Appreciate you. I think before we get out of here, I don't know that I know how to switch this. I disappeared? Okay.
We disappeared, yeah. I was like, oh.
I got out of here a little quick. No, before we get out of here, um, my homie Kenneth Cole asked me if I could share a couple bars that may be related to the subject matter. So I have a song that I did some years ago with Pharrell that was like just really, really cathartic for me. And I remember writing this verse in the studio and you know, I was just like I was weeping the whole time because I was expressing so many things that I had trouble articulating. So I'll wrap it now. It goes, introduction to Victor, not Vic Mensa, the one you never meet in a double XL issue. I got so many issues, I should be my own publisher. The beat is my therapist, skateboard, paint the picture. A portrait of the artist formerly known as Vic. I read the signs, I was close to overdose like Prince, picking pill pieces up out of the bathroom sink like an armored truck riding the brink. I'd probably be a vegetable if not for medical attention. My self-destructive habits have me itching like Tyrone Bigums in the cyclone of my own addictions. The voice inside my head talking, I don't want to listen. You never be good enough, nigga, you never was. Nobody fucking needs you, you should just jump off the bridge. You hurt everyone around you, you're impossible to love. I don't want you to live. I wish you were fucking dead. I wish you were never born. We would all be better for it. I don't love you. I don't like you like a fucking metaphor. Fuck every song you ever done. You lie to everyone and expect them to tell the truth when that's something you never done. You're a fucking embarrassment. How dare you win? Nigga, you let the devil in. You're still a drug addict. You're nothing without your medicine. Go and run to your sedatives. You can't run forever, Vic. Climb the tallest building and spread your wings. I remembered all the bars. I thought I was going to forget them. All right.
All
So I
right,
wanted to share
writer.
that.
All right, writer.
You know what I mean?
Wow. And that is it, right? So it's like that's what art can be if you let it be that. Whether you give it to the world or not, you know? Like that message to yourself is powerful whether anybody else received it or not.
I
Because
feel like we always
you
write to
needed to
ourselves,
talk.
right?
You needed to talk to yourself.
You know, that's what it's about. But we've been able to
Maybe a
take
little
this
nicer
moment.
next time, but
Yeah, I've been working on that.
we're trying it. That's part of the healing process, I feel like. It's like letting go of that white supremacist in all of our brains that tells us that we're worthless.
Yo, fam. Oh man, I be having that conversation all the time. How we've been mentally colonized, though. You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? This is where they really got us, because they couldn't have us out here if they didn't have us here. You know?
Yo, word, really true. Um, this has been a phenomenal discussion. I
Amen.
appreciate you so much, Lauren, and I appreciate you,
You
Dr.
too.
Luana.
Thank you for
Appreciate you,
sharing,
Kenneth
guys.
Cole. Kenneth Cole somewhere on here. So shout out to the Mental Health Coalition. They're doing this every day in May. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And every day in May, they're going to have artists like myself and Lauren come on and speak and, you know, talk about their real lives with professional mental health professionals as well. So thank you guys all for tuning in. All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Peace.
Cuídense.
Ciao.